Alright guys, welcome back. So today we're gonna install some cams. Woo! These babies right here, I got some 264s. Come with a cool sticker, some information. And I also got these seals. Whenever you guys do install these seals, make sure that they're site specific. So for example, this part number right here is for the exhaust side, and then this part number is for the intake side. That's how you can tell which one's the exhaust and the intake side. The intake with the VVT cam is slightly longer. So I'm gonna lube up these buckets. And the reason why you want to do this is because after the motor has been sitting for so long, it's completely dry, like y'all grannies. So you want to make sure there's no friction when you first start the motor to prevent any scratching or scraping. Just gonna pour some there. And don't be afraid to put some on, because too little is actually a bad thing, as opposed to too much. Or at least that's what I think. I'm using this Torco engine assembly lube, by the way. Some good shit from what I read. I know Rad Dan uses it, so if he uses it, it must be good. Let's get this baby in. And there she is. 264s, BCs. It looks like strawberry jelly. Makes me want to try some. So that's about right where the manual says it. Also, when you do this, you can just feel it just sits. Like when you're installing them, it'll kind of just sit in its own place. It naturally just falls into it. So you can see right here, it's about the same for exhaust side. After that, it says place number 3 and number 7 bearing caps. These bearing caps are all numbered too. Like you can see, it says exhaust 4, so you can't get them wrong. It also has like a arrow indented so you can know how to install them. 1, 2, 3. Says cap 3 and 7. I'm gonna just apply some strawberry jelly onto this too on the cam caps just to be safe. So as to Pure Functions instruction on YouTube, shout out to him. I watched this video a little bit to see how to install these. He says to get it at top dead center where cylinder 6 and 1 are at top dead center. And he said to move them a little bit more down so that way when you're tightening down the cams, the valves don't slap the engine and bend your valves. So that should be enough for all of them. Should be enough space. As you can see, I marked this indentation right here, top dead center, and I moved it about this much. So from here to here, in order to have all the cylinders midway. So when I'm tightening them down, I don't slap my valves. Also had my bolts sitting in oil to give it a coating so that they thread more easier. So it says to temporarily tighten these. Now you want to install the oil cam seals, and like I said, part number 38056 is the exhaust side and 40020 is the intake side. So I'm gonna just lube these up a bit and just install them. It says apply grease into the inner circle, so I'm just gonna do that. A little trick that I I noticed that people tend to miss is that they usually install these first and then they try to put these seals, but I've seen a lot of people mess up and they say it's also difficult. So just put these in first and then you can just seal it on top. Just close it. I think it's easier. Way easier. See how there's a little gap right here? My guess is that once it's tightened down, it'll seal. Because on here it's also doing it, so most likely it'll seal once it's tightened down. So then it says to apply RTV to the #1 bearing. I'm not gonna do it because I'm gonna have to check my valve lash after this. So if I do need to remove these, I can just remove it and I'll mess up the RTV. So I'll probably just do it, and then my valve lash checks out, then I'll just loosen this one and RTV it and get back to it later. But for now, I'll just install it. I'm hoping I don't have to adjust my valve lash, but we'll see. Usually 264s, they don't require you to, but just depending on how old the motor is and how long it's been beaten for, sometimes you do gotta adjust it. The little shims in the buckets, they wear out. E4, 5, 6. This is actually some really good engine assembly lube. It kind of just sticks to it. It's kind of like paste or something, but I like it. See how it mates to it? It's very sticky. Four. This one is a 5, 4, 5. This one's 6. You also gotta put RTV on this one too as well, for both of them. You can see the lines right here. Indentions, that's where you put the RTV. But like I said, I'll do it afterwards once I check my valve lash. Just put all the bolts back in, and then you do it in a specific order right here where it says 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you torque them to 14 foot-pounds. So currently while I was recording, that should die. I don't know how much I got, but I'm gonna look back through the footage and then see where I stopped off from. But right here you can see I've installed them all. Now I just gotta check valve lash. On the 2JZ manual, it tells you right here, clearances have to be for when it's cold. Intake side has to be from 0.006 of an inch to 0.010, and then for the exhaust it has to be 0.010 to 0.014. Right now I don't have enough for my intake side, but I have these for the exhaust, so we'll just do the exhaust. And first I'm gonna start with let's try 0.14. So you see 0.14 has resistance. This didn't go in. You gotta like force it in. 0.13. Still doesn't go. 0.12. So it goes in, but with a little bit of a push. A little bit, so then most likely it's gonna be either 0.11 or 0.10, but since I don't have 0.11, I'm gonna try 0.11. Yeah, 0.10 just goes right there. It's like no resistance. Same thing for this side. So here we're gonna note it down, 0.010, 0.010. Next side. So I'm gonna start off at 0.13. Resistance, 0.12. Resistance, and 0.10. So see, so fourth one clears, but this third one, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I don't think. So the fourth one clears, that's 0.10. For sure, but the third one. Let's see. Yeah, it's too tight. Next one down would be 0.08. I can try 0.08. But 0.08 goes in, perfect. The 0.10, which the 0.10 was giving me. Yeah. Well guys, we're gonna have to remove the cams. And yes, I just realized that I have them flipped, but I'll flip them after. So seems like valve 6 is a 0.10. We can try maybe a 13. Let me see what else I got. I'll try 12. Yeah, it's definitely no. So it's a 10. That's a valve 5. It's probably gonna be a 0.009 or 0.0088, but since I only have the 0.008, I'm gonna just put it down as a 0.008. Valve 7. So there's some kind of slides in, but with a little bit of resistance. See how this one goes in? So it's the same thing like the other two. Over here it kind of like it gets stuck. 6, so then that means valve 8 is 0.10. It's likely valve 7 is gonna be a 0.008. Yep, knew it. Back to the 0.010. So 10 was good. Let's just try out 12. These are both 10s. And that does not fit at all. Yeah. Last one, valve 12 does. Easy. I'll just put a 0.12 in there just to make sure. See, this one gives me resistance. So it's a 0.010. It could be a 0.011, but I mean a 0.011, but I don't have the measurement. Sometimes it could be a 0.009 too, but I don't got that. And a 0.08 fits. You just do the same for your intake side, just with different measurements, and then once you get that, you just adjust your shims and your buckets, just depending on what you run. If you run shimless, then it's buckets, but if you do have shims, then you just put shims. But that's basically it, guys.